the NYC Gossip Girl. We in the building, hiphopgossipsite.com with...
What's going on? It's Christina K.
Hey, girl. How you doing?
What it do?
Let the people know exactly what it is you do. Let them get familiar with, things you got going on.
Okay. Well, my name is Christina K. I'm originally from Maryland. Moved up to Harlem a couple years ago. I just been grinding, doing my thing. Had a couple of singles. Did pretty good. I Got a Boyfriend was the first joint that I dropped. Got a good response on that. Everybody was checking for that. Good radio spins and everything. So I also had another record called Maryland. That was more like a street record. So it was a totally different style. Kind of got like different styles that I fluctuate between. And now I got another single tonight that's out with the video, and I'm about to drop another single. And I also produce. I make my own tracks. I played some tracks before on MTV. Also played some tracks with Dollar, that's Sign and Jive. And I just finished up this interesting mixtape project that I did. So that's everything I got going on right now.
Not a mixtape project. Is that with Green Lantern?
No, it's not with Green Lantern.
So I saw something on your media kit about Green Lantern.
Okay, yeah, that's the 08 situation. That's the Nas Black President situation. That's an interesting situation.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, definitely have to talk about that. I'm on my 09 right now, so that's 08. So it's kind of like I just tell it like it is. Mm-hmm. Me and Green Lantern were talking to do a deal, to do a production deal. He heard some of the stuff that I had last year. He kind of felt it, so he's like, okay, I want to put you down, sign you for a production deal, shop you, get your deal, get it popping, get it moving. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, that sounds good. I'm happy, excited that he was interested in me. Because I was like, okay, well I must be doing something right. So we had the meeting, got the paperwork, everything. We had lawyers talking and everything. So he's like, okay, me and Russell are doing a tribute to Obama mixtape coming out. So I was like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. He's like, okay, well, since you want to get down, I definitely want to make sure that we have you on the mixtape. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's what it is. So, I chilled out, went home. So we talked about it, and I was like, you know what? It already hit me. As soon as you said the thing about the Black president, I said, we got to take it. I said, I want to flip the sample with Tupac when he says, even though it seems heaven sent, we ain't ready to have a Black president. And I'm like, that's kind of like a hypocritical statement, so to flip it and wrap around that would be, kind of ill. So he was like, oh yeah, that is an ill idea. He was like, yeah, I had thought of that. And I was like, yeah, okay. So
wait a minute. So what you saying is Green Lantern stole your idea?
What I'm saying is, I'm just spinning facts. It's
okay.
Not speculation, it's simply facts. Mm-hmm. The lawyers were still going back and forth, checking out the paperwork and everything.
Right.
So, I said, this is the idea that I had for the song. Let this be, my song that I have. I also produce, but the thing about it was, since it's a production deal and he is a more established producer than me, I know how the game works. I could have made the beat and sent it. He would have took it, flipped it around, added a sound here and there. He still would have, it's just how it is. Nothing wrong with that. That's just how it is. So me knowing that, I'm not going to take a couple of hours out of my day and sit there and spend the time making a track when I already know, that's probably what's going to happen. So he was like, do you got the acapella? So I didn't even have an acapella. So I went and I looked online, found the acapella. I have the email. I sent him the email and I said, this is the part that I want right here. Sample between, If there's any computers, they have to go in Gmail and show it to you. I said, this is the part I want right here. So as soon as I sent it, like a couple of hours later, he had a draft come back. I was like, oh, damn, this must be a hot idea because you moving. You speed, you moving. I was like, oh, goodness gracious. So he did it. So then he revamped it a couple of times, and he sent it back with his artist, Johnny Polygon, singing a hook on it. You know what I mean? So he's like, yeah, I got the hook already. I was like, oh, we're moving. So I wrote the song. I recorded it at the crib because I have like Pro Tools, whatever, too. So I recorded it. And so then they were like in the studio, so I was like, well, let me come up there. So I came up there and I also recorded it there too. So after that, he was like, you know what, the version that you did in your crib actually sounded better. I guess that's my first time working with him, my element, I'm in my crib, I got my element more together.
Right.
So, so I think I touched it up a little bit and sent it back to him. So the lawyers were still going back and forth with the contract, still talking, trying to, figure everything out to make it a worthwhile situation for everybody. The night that Obama got the nomination to run against Hillary, I don't know what that's called, but
I don't know.
Yeah,
but I know what you're talking
about. It's
not
like when he's, racing just for that. It's when him and Hillary were just battling for it. Me and him hadn't spoken, I would say, maybe like a month or so or like 2 months, because this is going back to like summer, spring or something like last year. So we hadn't spoke for like maybe like a month or two. It had only been the lawyers and my manager and everybody just going back and forth. So I get a text message from him, like a BlackBerry message like, we got to find you a new beat for the mixtape. Nas took that for his album. I'm like, what? I'm stuck. I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, I don't even say nothing. I just forward it to my manager. I'm like, for real, that's how we feel. I don't know. I'm confused. So then.
Wait, so at that point, Nas took your whole track, basically.
Yeah, basically the idea. See, the thing.
And can you sue?
No, because the thing is kind of tricky because number one, I didn't physically make the beat. This is where everybody kind of gets their own angle for it. Okay. I didn't physically make the beat. However, in a sense, at least you could, at the very least, I co-produced the track because it was my idea. Mm-hmm. You know, it was my idea, and I sent you the acapella. You know what I mean?
Right.
To even get it popping, and the song and everything was created around that idea. Like, the thing that made that song so hot, it wasn't the same thing as like the My President Is Black song that was just hot because of just the way they hit it. That song was hot because of that Tupac sample. Like, that's kind of what made that song. Right. You know what I mean? So the next day, my friends hit me up because I got all my friends pretty much like work in the industry. Mm-hmm. So they hit me up and they're like, "Yo, your song is on such and such website." Because my homies, since all my homies pretty much work in the industry, I send them songs as I record them. Like, "Yo, check this out. Let me know what you think of this direction. What you think of this." So they had been heard the song like months ago before it got mixed, before anything. So when they hit me like, "Yo, your song on this site," I'm like, "Oh, word." So I tell my publicist. So then my publicist goes and reaches out to the same sites and says, "Wait a minute, you know, he pretty much took her track or whatever like that." So then they get wind of the blogs going back and forth saying about the track had been taken. So then they call my manager. His manager calls my manager. So then it's this big thing, and we all going back and forth on the phone, conference calls. Why you say I stole the track from you? Why you say this, that? And I guess, you know, he kind of felt that, like, me being maybe like a girl, like I was going back down to just be like, yeah, my fault or something like that. But I'm just kind of like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You know what it is. It is what it is. And so he was like, well, since you already went and said, I said, at very least, I feel like you owe me production credit. You know, some type of production credit, because me as an upcoming artist, an upcoming producer, that could have been something that very well had
helped your career.
Me out. Because I'm like, oh snap, if homegirl got ideas like this, she might be onto something. We might can rock with her. You know what I mean? So he was like, no, he said, since you already said that I stole the track from you, it's not going to look right now for me to come back and say that you co-produced the track, and this doesn't look right, that if this artist is about to sign with you, then this, that, and the third, and all this. So I'm just like, whatever. So we talked about it. We kept going back and forth, and he told me all the stories of the trials and tribulations that he had been through in the industry and everything. And so he was like, well, call me tomorrow. After like our second conference call, he was like, call me tomorrow, just kind of let everything breathe, and call me tomorrow, and I'll try to figure out a way, you know, I can make this right between the two of us. And I was already over it. So I just left it alone, left the negotiations with the deal and everything alone, because to me, like, I mean, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Someone saw opportunity that had a better, someone saw an opportunity that had a better opportunity to advance it than I could at the time. It doesn't make it right, but that's pretty much the world that we're living in. And
so can I ask, what are your feelings now personally towards Green Lantern?
Personally, I'm just, you know, I'm like, you know, not to take it like somewhere else, but I'm kind of like a spiritual person, and I just kind of feel like I'm just doing me and I'm living my life. So it's like, if that's what you feel like you had to do to take your situation to the next level, to get you on tour with Nas, to get more checks and stuff for you to be able to take care of your family and do the things that you needed to do, that's what it is. Everything balances itself out in the end, because maybe that wouldn't have been the right situation for me. So it is what it is. I don't think it's right. I don't hate the person. I don't hate him. It's like, it's fucked up, but that's how you felt.
And you said you didn't have no gossip.
Well, yeah, that's pretty good, right? Yeah.